grassroots innovator, the IP expert, the venture capitalist, everybody else. So these three C, I can say, creativity, compassion, and collaboration, these are the fundamental point. We too, and we experimented a pilot scale experiment in Gujarat that Professor Aggarwal will take care in detail, how we created the innovation districts. This was the thing that we started initially. And one of the major target was how to document technically the challenges of grassroots and informal sector, because that was one of the key segment that we involved. And he will say how he created incentive systems in the university framework so that the more and more students will prefer to work on the challenges. One of the classic case in Karnataka, the Agriculture Manufacturing Association, they did a machine which they couldn't afford to design in their own doorstep. So they took care of the students' help together and they designed it. And few days back, they sold it in the Karnataka Technology Expo and they're selling it in 18,000 rupees. So starting from the ideation from that community, engaging students for improving community challenges. This was also the theme that how can even this ecosystem can help in solving community challenges together. Yes, if in this process of solving community challenges or maybe industrial challenges, social challenges, the how to solve these problems for the student innovation, are you going to involve them discretely? Are you going to involve them in an innovation methodology or whatsoever? So we thought of that maybe we have to create and collaborate to create a knowledge network, building upon the various stakeholders. Yes, so here it plays a critical role, as I told initially, design, law, engineering, pharmaceutical sciences, innovation, even management came into very handy when some students created solution to take it to market. So three things that we took very efficiently is, first of all, we try to network the hopes of the young people. Millions of people, they want to contribute something. Second thing is networking the minds. If you can connect together complementarily, they can develop new innovations. And finally, the networking of needs by industrial Soul Yatra, which we implemented in the summer vacation. One of the very fundamental thing that we saw in this process is many students, when they came together from different backgrounds, they come up with different multiple heuristic of solutions. So they back up on the Techpedia portal, which we showed you in the before, I searched and saw you. So they back up on the mentors, students, and come together to solve these problems. So for a single challenge of fuel efficiency, when you try to solve it in Karnataka, Maharashtra, and Gujarat, they come out with the different solutions with different efficiency and different mode. So I think this was one of the major things that we learned in the exercise is even the students are capable of developing multiple heuristics given a stage. Yes, this was the summer Soul Yatra that we do every year. And one thing that I told Professor Aggarwal will tell about the incentive system that he could implement the policy. Also, we have an incentive system. We have a national award for these people. We call it as Gandhian Young Technology Innovation Award. This is the last time even the President DG CSIR and Dr. Mashilkar had come and appreciated the students. This is the award that we give. And these are the three categories for creating more from less, social relevant awards, and strategy innovation awards. Yes, sometimes we saw very significant things that even from schools, even from very less known colleges, and even from very brilliant colleges, we saw there is not much of difference in the intellectual capacity for solving challenges for the common people. Even this was the innovation which was designed in IIT Kanpur, and we found that given a chance, every student, every professor can contribute in a various segment of the value chain of the innovations. One of the major things that I saw you in the internet now is the mentoring network, because we found out that many times the innovators, the students get stuck up because they don't get a handholding at right time. So we have created a mentoring network they are having, and of course we are going to further leverage that. They will be having the challenges, they will be having students and mentors and volunteers from different background and different events. One major thing that we also included in the exercise was we found out that even in Gujarat, we experimented in the first year of 2010-11, we found out that generally 60 to 75% of innovations are being repeated up to one extent, and nobody could take it from that extent to the final end, but again somebody comes and reinvent the wheel. So what we thought of, Professor Aggarwal was kind enough to introduce a policy. We encourage the people to start the innovation where they have been left out. So people will not have a feeling that it is a old work. So we created an incentive system in the process so that more and more students, like this is a classic case. One of the innovation of black box was done in a polytechnic in Latur, and immediately that was taken after the initial work that they could do, it was taken to another college in Nagpur, and finally they are reaching to an extent of delivering a solution. Another major thing that we could introduce is something we found. This is the innovation we awarded last year in Gandhi Innovation in Pune, And similarly, while doing the innovation through the students and our ecosystem, we found out similar value-added innovation is happening in Vidyanagar in Gujarat. But only thing is how you connect these people, how you connect their mentors, how you connect these innovators together, how you reduce the transaction cost of connecting even, that is also a very important factor. So connecting innovators laterally and vertically, sometimes in segments, particular segments, sometimes in different segments, is one of the another thing that came up as a spin-off in the exercise was, it is not that only one college or one teacher or one innovator come together, there is a lot of co-creation. For the classic case, the problem was scouted in Nagpur. The students started at Surat, then it was taken from another college nearby in Gujarat, and in 4 handholding process, finally the solution is now being testing. So here is the question that we learned in the process is, how can we create a handholding mechanism both online and offline in an open source manner so that the transaction cost and the time of developing the solutions or delivering to the grassroots level will reduce. So these are the few cases where we really have the clusters a lot. There will be a team will be presenting at the end. They significantly improve the efficiency of particular ceramic clusters in Gujarat. And I talked to the industry people yesterday. They told that we are developing a final solution. We are going to implement that. And I think this is a boon for us because we had anyhow spent a lot of money and could not have a solution. So I think this process of helping the people also helped us a lot. And this was the entire spin-off that I wanted to show you in the process. And as I showed you in the case of solar here, 1,800 projects, 1,800 faculties, more than 700 unique institutions, and more than 4,000 students who have done these solutions. But the question is, now when you design a policy in solar, when you design an ecosystem of solar innovation, do you know these are the backbones of our country? You don't know. Because there was no open source repository, there was no mechanism to know. So one of the major benefits is when you are going to make a policy in solar investments, even in the banking sector, whatsoever, you can bank up on these people's expertise and take it to ahead. So there is also a possibility, we have an open source platform here, the people can post it that I want to take this solution to the next level, they can take it out. So we have a facilitated process. So this was what I wanted to show you on the tech. I think Professor Aggarwal will take over now to share about the policy implications that he could bring in to incentivize all these steps, even to collaboration of the industry cluster, collaboration of all these stuff. Thank you.
The journey during the last 2 years in this particular project has been essentially a journey of collaborations. And therefore, I have named this particular presentation as a collaborative model for building excellence. We have attempted to see that technology education becomes innovative. It does not become repetitive, it does not become something which teaches us how to copy well, but it becomes something which helps us start thinking creatively. I have a feeling that basically our system of education during the last 150 years has attempted to kill creativity, and it has attempted to ensure that nobody is able to think out of the box. So the effort has been to get out of that particular thing. For GTU, I always show this particular slide first before saying anything else. What our objective is, where we want to go. So Gujarat, as you know, has been doing very well in all other fields. And therefore our objective was that GTU also should try to achieve something whereby we can say that we are the best university in the country and best university in the world. Now, we are relatively a new university. We started in 2008. And of course, our PhD program started only last year. We are also today the biggest university in Gujarat. So therefore, whatever we do is going to determine the state of technology education in the state of Gujarat. We began with the example of the Chinese. They were nearly at the same level as we were in 1985. They started studying what a world-class university should be, and therefore they came up with a kind of 7-point formula. And we thought that we will try to follow that particular formula, except that we have to follow it under our own circumstances. There it is a government-led formula, implementation. Over here it has to be a collaborative model where different components of the society come together. So that's what we have been trying to see. Now our environment, as you know, is that after 2000, India has been counted amongst the 4 BRIC countries, and people have been saying great things about what is likely to happen in India. But anyway, the important thing is we have industries which are able to compete with the rest of the world, and in some cases they are also able to hold their own in the world. Our young are truly very intelligent. There is no harm in saying that when I meet some of the young people, I find they are even more intelligent than our generation was. So therefore we have this advantage that we have young who are very intelligent. We have a large number of PhDs in our system, a large number of teachers. I have about 17,000 teachers in the system. And therefore it is a gold mine on which GTU is sitting. The only thing is whether we are able to really get gold out of it. So we have a gold mine, but then if you have visited a gold mine, you will find that actually the gold looks like a stone over there, till you really refine it and do something. So what is the status of technology? In 2011, out of the first top 10 institutions, there was not one from Asia. Out of the top 50, there was none from India. No IIT was there in the top 50. In fact, our first IIT by QS ranking was at 217 rank. So why is it so? Why is it that we were not there? Well, these are the questions. The questions are our students are not intelligent enough? Is our faculty not competent? What is it that we lack, that we are nowhere? So, if you look at these questions, well, we have a great history. We used to be very intelligent, and therefore I thought that probably we have not yet lost our intelligence. It is true that genetic changes take place, but they take place over a time period of thousands of years. Between the 13th century and 21st, we could not have lost the creativity that we had. And during the modern age also, during the last 65 years, we have some achievements to our credit. They may not be as good as they should have been, but we have been doing something. The basic problem is in our educational system. And this is a challenge which we have refused to meet for decades. So this is a challenge which we have been knowing, but we embrace a problem and live with it. So we thought that we should do something, and so it is that we decided that we will talk about innovation in education, innovation in everything that we do. The first thing that we did was, we said that we must collaborate with the society, because if we have to bring innovations, then you have to collaborate. But collaboration means it is a two-way process. Now, the trouble is, the larger industry many times does not really want to collaborate. For example, our industry has given more to Harvard than to IIM Ahmedabad. Right? So we have examples of our great industrialists donating large amounts, which is very good for education. But the trouble is, most of it goes to Harvard. Why do they live over there? Why do they not come over here? There are various reasons, as all of you know. But GTU decided that we will not talk about how collaboration should be done, we will do it. So therefore, in spite of all the problems, we decided that we will not hold seminars on doing it. We will instead do the job. So how we went about doing the job, let's try to see. 2 years back, on 10th July, I invited many top academics, scientists, engineers and industry people to meet me to talk about what we should do for technology education. We had a long discussion. I had invited them for, in fact, brainstorming. So we discussed the issue for hours. But there were many problems which everyone pointed out. And everyone said very clearly that we cannot do anything about it because the system is so entrenched that changes were very difficult. But anyway, I went on telling again and again, after every description, after every statement, that we cannot afford to live with this situation. We have to do something. But anyway, that was the kind of discussion we had. We also met various people within the system. So I invited even the trustees, who of course would not have much to do with the quality of education, but then they control, various institutions. So I listened to everyone. And then I invited myself to a meeting of the topmost industry people. I was advised that to change the whole system is very difficult. I was advised that I should think about taking about 500 students and getting good projects done from them. That may be something doable. I did not agree with them and I told them, well, we are going ahead with what we are planning. And what we are planning was innovation. And therefore we started on that day in the presence of those big industries who were not with us. I mean, they were not really wanting to be with the idea. But we said we are going to do it. So therefore we started GTU Innovation Council. Now there were problems. The problems were that the final year projects are a very important issue. All of you who are in technical education would be knowing that this is supposed to be the capstone of education. After 4 years of study, a student is supposed to do a project which kind of integrates everything that he has studied into something which is like a final product. Now, what we said was this particular thing will have to be done in such a way that it leads to something useful. And therefore we said that it should not be repetitive. The project must be absorbed by the industry. Some of the students may want to do entrepreneurship. And of course, all of this requires industrial design. It requires some innovation in every college, in every polytechnic. And of course, it has to be an effort to convert some of the ideas into something which is socially relevant. So, therefore, we began the journey. The first cohort of GTU's degree engineering students were to join final year in 2011. And therefore, 1 year earlier, we decided to do something. So the decisions that we took, the first one was, we said that the quality of projects must be improved. And for that, what we said was, we must identify a problem which is socially relevant. We must identify a problem which tries to modify and improve some product or a process. So that was the requirement. So basically, we have to identify the problem, then we have to design the solution, implement it through mentoring, and then at the end, of course, it has to be evaluated, as is the practice in all education. Now, the response, as I told you, from the large industry was very slow. Therefore, we thought that we will try to take the help of SMEs. I had the data, and this is what I had presented on 2nd August. I had told the industry people that we have 2.5 lakh registered industries in Gujarat, and there is no reason why 50,000 students could not be covered with these 2.5 lakh industries. I was of course told that it is not possible. But anyway, we were determined to take the help of SMEs. At that particular point of time, I met Hiranmay and of course Professor Anil Gupta. And I discussed this particular issue. And it turned out that he was doing something useful, which was of great importance to me. So I went on following up with him regarding the results of the experiment that he was doing. Now, what was the experiment? The experiment was that he had taken up some 40 odd problems from the industry. He had given them to middle level colleges, not our topmost colleges, to the middle level colleges. Each of these problems had a timeline. For example, L&T gave a problem which they said could be solved in about 6 months. These problems were farmed out to the colleges. And I was interested in getting the results, whether our students are able to do it. And I was very happy to see the result. When he brought the results to me, he showed that most of the projects were completed in a timeline which was much shorter than the one which is proposed by the industries. So this proved to me that what those large industry people were telling me was not really correct, because they were not really hopeful that our young can do anything useful. Obviously, our universities had not done anything useful for the last 65 years for them, and therefore they were basing whatever they were saying on their experience. So we were not to fight with their experience because that was the truth. But the fact is that truth was of the last 65 years. It was not the truth of tomorrow. It was the truth of yesterday. And we wanted to change it, change the situation so that a new truth will emerge. So I have no quarrel with the fact that this advice was given, because this advice was given on the basis of something which existed on the ground, about which they knew. So when this particular truth was presented to me by Hiranmay, I thought, well, there is no reason why we cannot be a success. So what we did was, we took the decision that these projects should be done with the MSMEs. We did not, of course, ask the students that they cannot go to the large industry. But as far as the university is concerned, we made efforts to create a framework of small industries. So we created Sankuls, 25 Sankuls in the state, wherein we tried to bring all the principals together with the industries, but we did not tap even one large industry. We worked with all small industries. Of course, if a college already has a connection with a large industry, if there is some large industry which is willing to come forward and help a particular college, we are not against it. Let them take the projects from there, from whatever source they can get. But as far as the university is concerned, it made a very special effort to create a large framework of industry-institute interaction on a continuing basis. So this is what we did. We prepared, of course, simultaneously a proposal for grants from the National Innovation Council. We sent the proposal in September. I met the chairman in January over here, and I gave him another copy. We did not get any response. So therefore, by end of January, we decided we will not bother about government. Because if we were to depend upon them, we would have waited for 5 years before anything would be done. So therefore, the decision 3 was move ahead without expecting any help. Because we have to do the job. So we can do the job on our own. So that's what we decided, we will not bother. After that, we have not applied for any help. Because if we apply for any help, we'll be unnecessarily using our time and not getting anything. Then the last decision was evaluate the projects through university twice. So we decided that we will have an IDP kind of evaluation, which we are doing now in all the colleges, once at the end of the first semester and then at the end of the second semester in the final year. In addition, we have been having informal evaluations by way of, you can say, an incentive or awards by Sankols, by various other organizations. And wherever any such competition has been there, we have encouraged our colleges to participate. And the results have been very interesting. In the awards which Shetty gave, out of 14 awards given nationally, 6 were won by our students. NESCOM decided to give awards for the software projects. They were of course for within Gujarat. And obviously because we are a large part of the Gujarat system, so the awards were bound to come to us. All the 3 awards, first, second and third, came to GTU projects. We have of course some other organizations, some other universities also, in Gujarat, which are technical. But then in this particular case, all the 3 NESCOM awards were with GTU. So wherever our students have participated, they have done well and they have been able to win awards and do the projects. Their projects have been really good. I must admit that our projects do not show still the engineering skill, engineering design skill which is required.